Good evening and welcome everyone. Hello Date6, how are you doing? How is the week going so far? Hope everything is relaxed, everything is nice so far for everyone. Uh, we're back with some Battlefield because the second week has opened, and as you can see, I need to probably get to it. We still need to get some stuff to unlock the final stuff. So let's play a bit. Enjoy Fritz Cola while doing that. I also have an energy drink, but I probably won't need it after very caffeine drunk. Okay, kills and revives, logistics rooms. Seems doable. Come on, we're really stuck at one person left. There we go.
Stay close, stay alert.
We have identified an objective vital to American interests. Use all necessary means to take hold of the objective, and eliminate any hostiles who engage. Drone reinforcements will be provided to mitigate losses. Take advantage of the intelligence they provide. We're counting on you, Nopads. Take victory at any cost.
Obviously starts perfectly.
Mark hostiles with the drone. Only one friendly remaining.
It's near me!
The objective has been assigned. Act quickly. Our squad has fallen.
Oh god.
The next objective is marked on your radar.
Look at men! Hostile located! Around 40 meters from your position! Tango!
The objective is lost.
Берите! Hold on! What the hell?
Fuck. Oh, come on. I feel like I either play
Pass drone intel to your team.
too safely or too aggressively. I definitely need to find a better
Fighting
rhythm.
infantry! 40 meters away from your position!
An objective is now vulnerable. Take it. One enemy left. Only one ally left. The enemy has been neutralized.
That's what you'd like to see.
Mark the objective! Attack!
Take this! Hold on to it!
Objective has been assigned. Act quickly. We lost the objective.
This will save you!
That was a good round.
Marked on your radar.
Dropping med supply!
Fuck. Come on. Really? Please revive. Oh, God. Fuck. No. Oh.
No hostiles remain.
Меня ранили! Помогите!
Mark hostiles with the drone.
Come on, my mark!
Squad is down to one. An objective is now vulnerable. Take it.
Mark the tango!
Our squad is out.
Отступляю обратно.
One down! Here! First aid! Use this! Got an idea!
God damn it.
A new objective has been assigned. Act quickly. Only one
is
friendly
that?
remaining. Friendlies eliminated.
Grenade deployed! I'm hit fire here!
Wait a second, did they
Only
put
one
me...
ally left. The next objective is marked on your radar.
It should only be 2 squads. The fuck happened here? I feel like the system bugged out. Again. Well. Well, it's not the most cash money round. Hey Claire. Yeah, it probably is something that just bugged out with the logic behind it, because last week you could only, you know, it was only, oh hey, it's just 4v4, so 1 squad. Wait, no, I was in a squad. What the fuck happened? Huh? I am just so confused, but how are you doing? You already have a Steam Deck. Isn't that enough? Like, wasn't it that the Steam Deck has the best emulation? So why do you need another retro handheld? No. I guess this one is now actual hardware or something. Probably. It's just the actual GameCube just cut together to be held like a Switch. Or something like that. Ooh, we can play Mackie. Yee with the haw. Honestly, Mackie is probably the best one in this mode right now. I kinda wish they really would have gotten more interesting shit on the specialists. Probably even some more specialists, because then you could probably do more. It's one that looks almost identical to Game Boy Advance SP, but it's not a Game Boy Advance SP, so that already makes it worse. And have both an IPS screen and color correction. You definitely have an addiction for these things if you write about them like that.
Fight smart and stay alive.
What do you mean? A normal Game Boy Advance SP is already the best handheld besides the PlayStation Portable.
Use all necessary means to take hold of the objective and eliminate any hostiles who engage. Drone reinforcements will be provided to mitigate losses. Take advantage of the
I don't know what
intelligence
you
they
mean with
provide.
that, Levinson.
We're counting on you, Nopads. Take victory at any cost.
Let's see. Do we have two Mackays in the enemy team?
Up we go.
Wait. Ah! Those are Fridays. Okay, except this Friday will probably be a bit shorter. Since there is Summer Game Fest and, well, sorry. Gonna have to sadly... Like, it's just the thing. There's stuff that needs to be covered, I guess, for, you know, maximum attention. So we're gonna have a fun time looking at Geoff Keighley's video game bonanza. There you go.
Squad is down to one.
Fuck!
Objective has been assigned.
Vicky 3 is only on Fridays. The game announcements, some edition. I mean, like, E3 is dead, so, you know.
Gotcha.
It was always fun. Like, so here's a fun history. We usually, like, in the last years of actual E3, we kind of restreamed it with people we had contact with it. What does the game announcement actually cover? Basically it's just a lot of announcements of, you know, upcoming games, you know, new announcement titles, etc. It's where they, you know, said, hey, this is when Elden Ring is coming out, and everyone lost their shit, and then Elden Ring came out, and it was neither as good as Dark Souls 1 or Bloodborne. Oh yeah, I am getting into beef discourse here. But everyone's like, but you're like, but Elden Ring is good, have you played Dark Souls 1?
Objective is now vulnerable. Take
Yeah, I thought so. Blasphemy. Here's the thing,
Squad
okay?
has fallen.
Elden Ring is a good game. And I get why most people have, you know, started with it. What it is not as tight or interesting as, well, Dark Souls 1. Like, that's the thing, okay? Dark Souls 1 was an intricately designed world where you could run around, and also, most importantly, the RPG system in Dark Souls was more the focus than the whole combat. Like, the thing about Elden Ring is, if you look at how bosses are designed, most of them are designed around reactive gameplay, parrying, and just a general trend, you know, that Bloodborne introduced. Obviously, people like that, you know? The thing is, if you then also look at how, you know, it's structured, that in Elden Ring, ironically, the boss is kind of a main, is kind of the main thing you have to fight in a level / dungeon, versus Dark Souls, where, you know, the way to the boss was actually still the resource drain and interesting part, and then you had, you know, on top of that,
Objective
stuff
safe.
like, you know, the boss was simple. A boss in Dark Souls 1 had like 1 or 2 attacks. They were pretty simple. They did damage, but, you know. And the boss was more vibes, interesting concepts. Obviously, that could mean they could sometimes suck. Most bosses in Elden Ring are humanoids that do long attack chain patterns. Literally, the humanoid bosses in Dark Souls 2 were more interesting to a big degree. Anyway, like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna say it. Here's the thing. Stories of the Abyss get generally fried boss design in Dark Souls. Like, it's a good boss. It is a really good boss. Don't get me wrong. But the thing is, it was a boss that stood out because him and Gwyn were unique. you know, there were a lot more other bosses that were just, here's a fun idea and something that you could just,
Act quickly.
oh fuck, you know, it was about vibes. There was there was interesting design, and you almost don't have. I mean, let me put it like this:
Our squad is out.
a boss like Ceaseless Discharge, it's a bad boss, but it's still an interesting boss. There's something more to it that, you know, as it changes the environment. Even this is obviously in one of the more weaker quote-unquote areas of the game. But Elden Ring does not have a Ceaseless Discharge. It has some impressive bosses. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it's just not as refined, you know, not as bold as Dark Souls. Because Dark Souls and Demon Souls were still very much, let's just figure this shit out. Let's make weird shit. Let's make unique decisions. And Elden Ring is more like, we have kind of perfected already how this shit works.
Squad is down to 1.
That's the thing, okay? I'm not saying Elden Ring is bad, but overall, what Dark Souls did in terms of explorations and shit, honestly, Demons is one of those games where you can say it's already a miracle that it came out. Like, they definitely had probably more, you know, bland bosses until you realize, oh hey, they started adding shit into them because, like, oh hey, this boss just seems very generic, let's make it blind. They were almost all gimmick bosses. Yep. It's not bad. Again, there are a bunch of good stuff. Like, Phalanx is ironically a concept they have, you know, revisit as a semi-boss in Dark Souls even. Like, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of, it's referenced in the Painted World.
Objective is now vulnerable.
There is...
Only one friendly remaining. Our squad has fallen.
Yeah, they reference them a lot. It's like... It's cool though, you know? I think Dark Souls really found a good balance because, you know... I think it could have gone a bit harder on certain things, like... So,
Up we go.
I like the Capra Demon fight. But probably people will say, what the fuck? But here's the thing. I always say, Dark Souls is basically the best fantasy Metroid and kind of survival horror game. Why? Because it just has bosses like Capra Demon, which is like, you're just stuck with a thing that can kill you in a few hits in a tiny room. Fuck you. Survive. And what is like the first boss in Resident Evil? You're stuck with a giant snake in a tiny room. Fuck you. Survive. Anyway, that's just, you know, again,
Objective is marked on your radar.
the more, you know, weirdness. Also,
Uniqueness?
what?
Uniqueness?
Uniqueness is missing. And it just, Elden Ring is just like, hey, we just kind of adopted more and more from Bloodborne, which is just, Bloodborne worked because the whole feeling was different, more visceral, more in your face, and yeah. But yeah, oh hey, getting beef that Elden Ring is overall not as good as Dark Souls 1. Oops. It's not, hey, I would even, to a degree, say, it's not even as interesting as Demon's Souls. Before someone clutches, you know, their fist and is like, how dare you say that? I said interesting. Interesting isn't, you know, good. It's, you know, Demon's Souls has its problems, but like, even if you replayed the remake, you just realize there's so much interesting shit going on where you're like, why isn't world tendency in Elden Ring? Obviously people would say, but world tendency was a weird thing that, yeah, and they could have expanded on it, they could have done shit with that. Give me weird systems again that just do shit. And then there's Resident Evil Zero, you're stuck with a giant enemy type in a small room, fuck you 10 times. Resident Evil Zero definitely has its problem. And then, you know, also, the bed has the worst camera angle. Because it's like, World Tendency didn't really suck. Here's the thing. World Tendency was just obtuse.
It was never explained.
What?
It was never really explained.
It was never really explained. And by the way, I went back because here's the thing. I have like it is like, well, that's a bare bones explanation in the remake. But here's the thing. Then I look into the manual of the original Dark Souls, because I have that here, and it's the same thing. They just copied the fucking manual. Like, oh wait, that was not. It's just don't be a dick and never stay human. Hey, I'm not saying that World Tendency was well implemented. By far not. But it's an interesting concept they could have worked on, you know? It's like, oh yeah, the world changing according to your actions? That's cool. You know, staying in soul form, having half health, but, you know, you could give up a ring slot. That's also kind of cool. None of these, you know, here's the thing. None of the experimental mechanics or ideas of Demon's Souls or Dark Souls are, you know, on the paper executed well. But they're interesting ideas. And the fact is, Elden Ring ditched all of that for an open world. Might I say, in terms of layout and design, quite a generic layout and design. Probably saying, oh, but it doesn't have, you know, what is it? There are some roaming enemies on top. You come to something, and then there's basically a dungeon / mission, and you ride on a mount in between those. It is a very bog standard setup for an open world that just allows to chain things together, you know, without that much it's just easy to chain, because, like, again, Dark Souls is an intricately 3D layered mess of a game where you don't need mounts or fast travel until very late in the game, where they, you know, couldn't get the shortcuts in. There were supposed to be shortcuts between Tomb of Giants and, I think, Lost Izalith, and Tomb of Giants upwards. I don't know where again. Because, for example, yeah, the Catacombs in Tomb of Giants is just one straight shot. It's basically, you know, a Demon's Souls line, where everything else loops itself. And they couldn't finish that, so they just were like, in the end, okay, at this part we just need fast travel. Yeah, but again, why didn't they try, you know, doing shit again with that? That's just the thing, okay? I like old From Software stuff because it's weird and interesting and, you know, experimental. Elden Ring is a good game. But Elden Ring doesn't do a lot of interesting things. It just does things that we already saw in previous games, is what I'm saying. And to many, that is fine. Oh, go damn persistence data. I haven't seen you in years. Do FPS games have their own voices? I don't know what you mean with the voices, but I guess. But yeah.
Ready for orders.
I'm kind of interested into seeing what they know. You know what? Hey, Claire. They could announce Bloodborne remake. It wouldn't even surprise me if they do it there. It wouldn't even surprise me. Then again, probably somewhere around the corner we'll talk about XDefiant Season 1. It's kind of wild that I looked through everything and, like, holy shit, that game already has so much shit in their data files. Has streamer even... oh, I've seen this. I can't just really relate because, I mean, I don't have schizophrenia, really. So, sorry if there's something like... Oh, wait, Valparaiso, I have... Oh, I have to play that one. I've given up. Come on. It's gonna be great, you know what? I'm streaming it, you're gonna be in chat, you'll be like, oh, is it gonna be good, is it gonna be bad? And then we're gonna be like, yeah, come on, just watch it. And then there's gonna be like, there's gonna be Silksong, there's gonna be Bloodborne, and then, you know, and then EA is coming out on stage just like, hey, we're doing Dead Space 2 remake, here's the first sneak peek, enjoy the game. And And then Jeff Keighley's like, and to everyone who's watching, we're giving out, you know, the Steam Deck 2.0 for watching because you're so nice and it comes with hot chocolate. At least with the last time I didn't have to be disappointed since Astrobot got announced. Astrobot is definitely... This is ironically really the first, the real I'm gonna buy it day one in like a long time. It's just like, yeah. I'm probably not even gonna stream it, but just, you know, it's just, I'm gonna go to the store, okay? I'm pre-ordering it. I'm getting it literally when the store opens.
Ready for orders.
And then we probably just will play 24 hours through it, and then we're gonna be like, hey, this game is amazing. Probably. Oh god, I'd be so disappointed if Astrobot sucked. I doubt it. Because Astrobot, it's like, no, Astrobot can't be bad, right? It can't be bad. Have been great, apparently. Haven't you played it? I haven't played it. Yeah, that's a VR game, I know. Hey, if I ever get a PSVR, I could try it. You know, that's the problem with VR, you know?
Time to get the fuck into Dodge.
I saw like, oh hey, we're gonna bring this adapter out so you can also use PSVR 2 on PC. I'm like, okay, cool, because you know, you also have good monitors and finger tracking. I could play Alex. And PlayStation 5 VR games like Resident Evil 8 and 4. Nice. Now, and then we're like, hey, we you know, made it 1 or 2 euros cheaper. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I looked at the price and still 450 euros. And like, I wish I had money.
Grenade throw.
God damn it. Hey, if this continues, I mean, yeah, I probably... I just heard good things about Alex, but that's the thing with Valve, you know? It's always, they always have this thing, you know, they just hide in the ditch, then, you know, wait years, and then bring out the game. That's great. And you're like, holy shit, Valve still makes games, and they're awesome. And then, you know, a few years pass again, and there are rumors of a new game, and you're like, holy shit, the last game from Valve was amazing. I wonder what they're gonna do next. And you play the next game, and it's ass. I know some people would now say, that can't be right. Alex was amazing. What do you mean with a game that sucked ass? You have played Artifact, right? Okay, stop. No one is playing Artifact. No one plays Artifact anymore. Artifact is dead.
Get moving to your next objective.
Tag you down. I'll get you moving. Hold on.
One enemy left.
Even doing a meme review. I don't know, not really. I rated Battlefield games once. I don't think, was it the maps? Oh god. Should probably do what, like, oh god, should I do the absolute unhinged every single map in the Battlefield franchise rated? Because I played them. I played them all. Oh god, that would be an unhinged long stream. But yeah, and now they're, you know, working on another online multiplayer game that looks alright.
No hostiles remain.
It looks alright. Like, I don't know what to think about it. It's like probably kind of a MOBA-esque thing. So like, okay, good, fine, do it.
I'm reloading. Target highlight. Engage in the objective.
Blah. But yeah. I can definitely say that that this multiplayer game they're working on probably won't have the biggest audience because it's like
One allied soldier remains. No
it's not
friendly
gonna be
left.
really
Mission
that it's
failed.
bad. It's just that market again is full, and if you don't have a reason for people to get into it, but then I can't really help you. And you know what probably the biggest mistake was that they did with this game?
Target down.
Is the fact that Team Fortress 2 is still not fixed. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, okay, Team Fortress 2 is a weird game because it has such a rabid fan base that keeps playing it even though it's just broken. Like, people can be like, oh hey, Battlefield 2042 has problems, it's bad, yada yada yada. Here's the thing. Team Fortress 2 is just fucking broken. You join a lobby and there are bots. They're just bots that kill you instantly. It's just cheating bots. It's all cheating bots.
Down to one.
It's a broken game and still has tens of thousands of players. Let me put it like this. Team Fortress 1 and 2 kinda, especially 2 kinda defined a lot of modern multiplayer stuff.
Hostile seize
For better or for
objective.
worse. It's still very much an old game. And I know a lot of people swear by it, but like, let me put it like this. The most upside it has is simply it has a lot of weird mechanics that are there because Valve just experimented with bullshit. Like, it's bullshit. To a big degree, it is just bullshit. Imposter. Like, for example, before that, before it's, there's a classic thing that people wanted back, ironically, and this was basically, a game about, oh hey,
Moving to your next objective.
everyone, like, there are just 6 classes, everyone has fixed sets, and they're very much balanced around each other. There's a bunch of stuff that's just odd. Like, for example, how snipers work, okay? Like, in every other game, from Battlefield to, well, XDefiant is what what recently everyone is playing. Snipers, Call of Duty are functioning as, Counter-Strike snipers, or snipers
Enemy
in
squad neutralized.
Day of Defeat, basically every other shooter. You zoom, you shoot, that's the damage you do. Team Fortress 2, however, is you zoom in, and then your shot loads up. So you do damage the longer you longer you load, which is like odd. That's good. Like, okay, here's the thing. I'm not saying this system is perfect, so it's like, again, weird. But on the other hand, it creates the fact that you don't have a game where people furiously quickscope all the time, because they can't. They have to stand and aim, and then you can actually kill certain people. And then you have to, have stuff like the Demo Man, which was, you have, normal bouncy grenades and sticky grenades, and you just had to balance a lot of shit. And then they added the whole, incentivizes real sniping. Yeah, that is just, a basic mechanic. And then there's also, just stuff they kept doing, like the Spy, which literally happened from a bug where, the name was names of players were shown as the name of the enemy team, and everyone was like, "Wait, that's confusing but fun. Let's make this a real class." So you have someone who's invisible or can masquerade himself and backstep. It's like cool, and it's just everything is very unique, and like you have like light movement shooter gameplay with the Scout because he's so fast and shit. Or also has okay, so there's rocket jumping with the obviously there's rocket jumping with the soldier because you have rockets and shit, and no one really has a typical gun. The best you could say is there is a syringe thrower from the medic, and I think a shitty SMG that the sniper has. That's it. The SMG is shitty. And that's the most normal gun you would get, like the Scout. Double barrel shotgun. No, it's not even double barrel. It's just a shotgun. And then we get into the really weird part. Because the thing that happened is they added weapons and loadouts. Well, okay. So the thing is, this is a system where I'm like, people say, oh, it's not that bad, and you can easily get shit because, you could get them from loot boxes, and it was actually kind of bad. And yeah, okay, you could buy them for 20 cents. It's like still a shit system. You should just unlock them. Because the interesting part about that thing is that, well, suddenly you had a lot of really, really weird weaponry. Because they didn't just make a flamethrower that was slightly more damage, slightly less range. They made flamethrowers that went all over the place in terms of what they could do, and items that, the weapons had different effects working together, which sometimes just changed the characters so utterly in how they worked. Like, for example, there is a shotgun for the Scout that if you that has less ammo, like you can't repeat fire, but the shots get stronger the more movement shit you do, the longer you run. So it actually incentivizes you run in, shoot someone, and run to the next enemy, and you need to keep running. And that's simple stuff. Then there's the other stuff like, hey, if I wanted to turn the Demo Man, a character class about grenades, room clearing and area control with sticky nades, into a melee character, because you can do that. There is a real viable build for the Demo Man, that is a shield and fucking, well, bastard sword, because he's Scottish, where you can just run into your enemies and just hammer them to death with a sword, and it's viable. It's viable. People play that. That's the thing where Team Fortress 2 just started being, okay, you have my attention. That is something. Well, and now we get to the part where I'm like, it had a good run. From unique game mode stuff to just, mapping, etc. Team Fortress 2 had one hell of a good run. The big problem it has is simply they stopped. They announced updates that an update that never came, and from that point onward they just keep raking in money from the game. But there is barely an update. 2 years ago they said, we hear you, we're working on it, and nothing has been done.
Use all necessary means to take hold of the objective and eliminate
Nothing.
any hostiles who engage.
Quite
Drone
literally.
reinforcements will be provided to mitigate losses. Take advantage of the intelligence they provide. We're counting on you, Nomads.
I'm
Take
like-
victory at any cost.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Do you really think that people... And again, the next one is the Avanhard functions as a company outside of Steam. Apparently they just have teams that make their games and some that, you know, keep at them. I think Counter-Strike had like a full dev team that just took care of the game. So that's probably the only game that is, and Dota 2 too. Like they have actual dev teams that just work
Mark hostiles with
on
the
making
drone.
the games on those games, but Team Fortress 2 is just, I guess, abandoned. They don't have a dev team. Or something. We don't know.
An objective is now vulnerable.
Everyone else is just making their own shit. And again, when I then see that their next game is supposed to be a more, you know, slower paced, mobile-like third-person shooter with a similar aesthetic to Team Fortress 2. You know what? Here's a game. Here's the thing. Yeah, games end eventually. But here's the thing, okay?
We have the objective.
If you look at this, if you look at 2042, DICE literally were like, we're not gonna make any more content for this game after Season 4. And like, okay, good. We know that. But they said we're still gonna support the game. And they're still doing server updates. They like literally added a new anti-cheat to Battlefield 5 because, you know, anti-cheat was like cheating was really became really rampant in that game. You know, years after it ended. You can talk about quality or, you know, implementation all day, but still. They at least were like, we're not gonna do this and this anymore. And they still cared that the game
Only one
worked.
friendly remaining.
That's good. Team Fortress 2 just died.
Act quickly.
This isn't even them. They didn't even say, "Oh yeah, Team Fortress 2 is dead now." No. It just simply died. They announced an update. They made a whole ass trailer for that update, and then that update just never came. And here's the thing. Let me be cynical here for a moment, but Deadlock, the game we're now seeing, we now see leaked. We're waiting for an announcement. I have a fucking big feeling that the Team Fortress 2 devs just kind of got it into their head that they wanted to make this game instead, probably because of plans they had for Team Fortress 2, and then just abandoned it. Again,
Only one hostile remaining.
they had a really strong game. They had a modding community, they had everything, and they just dropped it without any
The
announcement.
next objective is marked on your radar.
It was just
No
gone.
hostiles remain.
It was just from... It just never happened. And then again, 2 years ago or so, they said, "Oh, we hear you, we will patch it, we will be there for you." And they didn't do anything. Yeah, but again, if 2 years ago you say, "We hear you, we know bots are a problem, we will do something," and you do nothing, you're kind of an asshole. Yeah. And again, that game has a huge following. Counter-Strike is also still being played.
Reloading!
They basically updated
Reload!
An objective is now over.
CSGO into 2. And Dota 2 is also really old. Don't forget that.
Hold down to 1. The objective is ours.
Yeah, something. But they didn't. It's literally just dropped. So I'm like, yeah, call me crazy. But I feel like the new Deadlock game is probably the old Team Fortress 2 devs that had just some idea that they wanted to do instead of Team Fortress 2. I'm really contemplating if after high caffeine cola I should also drink this energy drink. I'm still gonna have to do shit after the stream, so maybe? And I've been awake for way too long today, and been out way too much today. Hate it.
Grenade going out!
Objective seized.
Yeah. That's the thing. So yeah, I don't know. And yeah, just basically making a game that looks very much like Team Fortress 2. Just yeah, that's not gonna happen, Valve. You're just gonna spite people.
Only one hostile remains. Hostile squad eliminated.
So yeah, chat, should I drink an energy drink? I feel like that might be a mistake, but on the other hand, again, I still need to be awake afterwards. And I'm feeling something.
Friendly down!
Hold down to 1.
I'm reloading!
The next objective is back on your radar.
Come on! Oh, wait. You're hiding Okay. Well. Probably need to ask the one person besides me. Soll ich noch einen Energy Drink trinken oder nicht?
Your choice.
Ugh.
Just do it. What's the worst that could happen?
I need to wake up early tomorrow.
You do?
For the call, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
Well,
it.
You could also stay awake early tomorrow.
Fuck it. Honestly, fuck some part of the German medical system. Oh yeah, we can be called for. Yeah, you need to call to make like an appointment or something. Yeah, between 8 and 12. Also, 4 hours on an early weekday is what you're saying. It's, okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds normal. That is a reasonable thing to do. Funniest bit is then when you know, doctor says, "Oh yeah, you should go there. They're good," and you're like, "Here, oh yeah, they're good. You should anytime between 8 and 12." It's just there you can actually call them. I need to call them to make a specific appointment because we need a specific appointment in at least 2 weeks because Agonia is getting surgery and I'm fucking nervous about that. And so she needs blood. Blood taken and checked and EKG and shit like that, so nothing major. And she's also ensuring me, oh, everything will be fine. It's just a small surgery and I will stay there overnight and you can take me back home next day. Yes, I know, it's not nothing small, but also like, I will be alone at home. And also, she is not at home. When I visit my family, she's alone at home. But I know she has Blahash, she's safe, she has her PC. She can just be an absolute gremlin with, frozen pizza and all of that. I know she's safe there. But she's in a hospital. I can't take care of her. It makes me anxious as fuck. She's gonna be fine. It's nothing, okay. It is something big that needs to be taken out, but it's not a problem. It's not gonna be a big thing. Really? That make you chuckle?
Yeah. Because it sounds like cancer, even though it isn't.
It's not cancer. I can say that.
No time to waste.
It would be funny if one of it was cancer, though.
Ironic, at least.
We have identified
So
an
yeah,
objective
no.
vital to American interests. Use all
Don't worry,
necessary
it's just in
means to
2
hold the
weeks she
objective
has surgery,
and
is
eliminate any
away for
hostiles
one
who
night,
engage.
and I will probably
Drone
stream
reinforcements will be provided to mitigate losses.
and cry into
Take
the fucking
advantage of the
microphone
intelligence
because
they
she's
provide.
not here.
We're counting on you, Nopax.
You will take Blahash with you though,
Victory
okay?
at any cost.
Let's see. Let's see.
Okay. Wait, what the fuck did I get what? Why did I get Liz? Anyway. Liz will go.
Mark hostiles with the drone.
So yeah, nothing to worry. But yeah, it's just very concerned girlfriend noises. Even if she's like, yeah, she's gonna be fine. I'm just anxious.
The objective has been assigned. Act quickly. Pass drone intel to your team. The objective is lost.
Threat neutralized.
Oh, come on. Yeah, Claire, have you heard about have you read about the X-Defined data mines?
An objective is now vulnerable.
It's fucking wild what they have planned, apparently.
Down to one. Our squad is out.
It's just basically nearly everything from season 1 and the abilities leaked.
Take some supplies.
And also probably season 5 and 6, which could potentially just be bonkers. Also shit tons of maps. Just data mined. The game is stacked. It's kind of impressive, honestly.
Help you.
Okay, I mean, okay, season 1 is just GSG9 from, you know, Rainbow Six Siege, which is like,
Only one hostile remains.
I see why they do that. Kind of makes it more like, oh, hey, they just, you know, straight take some of the abilities, like, you know, okay, you can put down barbed wire. You know, you have the anti-nade stuff, which is like, good, anti-nade stuff. I'm down with that. So the funniest thing, though, is, I don't know if you have played Rainbow Six Siege. I'm actually kind of surprised they have the Germans in there. That they took the Germans first and not, you know, I don't know, GGN or, you know, SWAT, FBI. But yeah, the Germans are coming, and so the fun part is there's gonna be a character in it called Blitz,
Use the drone
and
to
he
get
has a
eyes on the
shield
enemy.
with
A
a
new
flash.
objective has been assigned. Act quickly.
So this is a direct ability from Rainbow Six Siege. So far I'm like, yeah, okay, you know what, take it over. I don't really have a big problem with that.
Down to one.
Now it gets interesting though. So there is this, we already have a shield, a movable, in X-Defined, the Phantoms, called Blitz Shield. So this is kind of funny that they put in the character Blitz with a shield. With his shield. But they already have the Blitz Shield. Otherwise, apparently at least one map from the game. So basically there's a map called Clubhouse, which also, you know, there's also a map called Clubhouse in Siege, so everyone's like, it could be that they make a variation of that map into X-Defined, which is like, yeah, I guess.
Mark hostiles with the drone. One enemy left. An objective is now vulnerable. Take it.
So yeah, you then have, I mean, it is something interesting because, you know, it's just more area control. The area control is good. Gonna be interesting to try them out, you know, against. Also, there's a steep map. I was like, what is like? There was like a, you know, an escort map called Ski Resort, and I was like, what game is Ski Resort? I'm like, oh wait, they have sports games, right? They have steep. It's like, yeah, I guess they're doing that. It's a choice.
Grenade out!
Ain't snowboarder class. Okay, we're getting to that. So there's some other maps from their other games. Like there's Daytona, so this is definitely The Crew, which is like, you're like, hey, yeah, okay, you have snowboarders, just that, and then they're like, oh hey, second season is apparently the Highwayman from A Far Cry New Dawn. Apparently they have a turret and grenade launchers. I'm like, okay. Then we get the Assassins. And, seems like the Assassins are basically the spy. From Team Fortress 2. Which is like, okay. Apparently the abilities of the Assassins are Smoke Bomb.
Pass drone intel to your team.
Smoke Bomb, a dagger, hidden dagger, probably
Only one
insta-kill.
friendly remaining.
And you can disguise yourself as a member of the enemy team. And that's like,
The next objective is
Oh,
back
yeah.
on your radar.
finally someone is bringing that back. And that makes sense for the Assassins, honestly. They claim all the walls. And that would be, that would be OP. Then you have the Ghost Recons. I don't remember exactly what it was. They just have a bunch of, sci-fi drones for, intel and area control. They're from Breakpoint. Okay, so apparently the fifth faction is The Crew. The Crew. From the racing game, The Crew. It is a car game, but apparently they decided to play with the people that shoot everyone? And we have the Naked Gun faction. No, apparently they also shoot people. It's the Naked Gun intro all the time. So you will laugh, but apparently one of their abilities ultimate is literally a car. Well, it's an RCXD car, but still. It's like, yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense. This feels definitely like someone, at the studio had, because, the ex-Call of Duty devs was like, hey, we kind of want to have the RCXD in our game. And they were like, okay, what faction should we give the RCXD car? And then someone was like, why not the car people from The Crew? And then we're like, why not? And you just sit there being like, bold move. I wonder how you want to do that. And it's not being reduced. God damn it. So yeah, apparently they have a car faction with a car ability. Small car, but a car. Once again, bold move. I get the push map on a racetrack. I get that. That makes 100% sense. I get it on a ski resort and slope. That makes sense. Still, wow. So apparently the sixth faction is the fucking rabbits. I have no clue how they want to do that. But I'm gonna be surprised if they pull it off. Oh god. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you hear the crew, you're like, what? And then you hear like, oh, you know, they have small, you know, you're like, oh, they have small cars. And you're like, okay, you know, it's suddenly like a joke decision starts making sense. And then you read the rabbits. Oh. You know what I almost suspect. Okay? That it's gonna be some humans doing shitty rabbits cosplay. I almost suspect that. And probably people will be like, what? That sounds... It would be on point. I have no clue what I am. Probably Rayman, if anything, will be its own faction. But yeah, Rabbits is like... No, apparently Rabbits isn't a joke. They have, you know, weapons, factions, and maps in the code, like, for over a whole year. There's so much shit there. You know what? I'm just gonna restart the game because something is apparently not working. Is there a Prince of Persia? Not data mined yet. It wouldn't surprise me though. Apparently they do want to make a British Watch Dogs faction though. So, you know, more stuff from you know, more factions from The Division 1 and 2, obviously. You know, the obvious things will also come in Far Cry also, but so far those 6 are in the code, apparently. Which is just... okay. Like Tracer from... probably, you know? That... oh god, I can see that. Like, you know what? You know what? It would probably be actually kind of interesting if they made multiple, you know, like if this is one ability. I don't get British DedSec as they will apparently have it. I don't know. With the British robot announcer, well, British AI announcer, so there we go. Who knows? I have saved up my points for so long. There's nothing coming to the game anymore. So owned. What was the last thing? Yeah, okay. As British DedSec are drone based, they could, I mean, they would probably kind of overlap with, how's it called? Well, that's a number now. But this is what I was playing for, because we have now officially the Mandate of Nations. Ooh, Sonnetskitten Mandates genau, yeah. No salts in the mandate, I suppose. Yeah. There we go. So those are the number is too perfect. You have to stop playing now. I will probably not buy anything anymore. This is literally the one thing that I ever wanted, and I mean, I saved up so much from playing the game with the battle passes and shit. I had enough points. I don't even know if they will be taken over, so, you know. But that is probably the one thing I would ever have spent would ever have spent them on, and did spend it on, because... okay, even though I feel shit. Like, this is so funny. I know this currency will probably be worthless after, the game has, the next game comes out. And that's fine. I still hate spending this. I am... And this is so funny. Like, games cannot get me to pay to pay the money easily, especially if they have an in-game currency, because I am like the literal opposite of a person with ADHD. I get insane anxiety that kills me. It's the premium currency. It just, again, I saved them up over like 7 seasons. I have, you can buy the battle pass with that, and you get enough to buy the next battle pass. So and even then, I bought like a reduced edition in the beginning where I had the first 4 for free in it. So like, free money. I guess the best I can do is get some event shit, and when they're like, hey, look, it's one of the classes. It's based on one of the classes from Battlefield 2142. The one game I will obsess over, because it is, while it's a code-based technical fucking mess, it was just so fucking good. And by the way, this is not even a reference. This is like literally. This is a sequel to this game. Like, the Mandate of Nations is the European Union. So, ironically, apparently in the timeline, they regrouped under the leadership of Germany. So I'm like, in what fucking hell does that ever happen? Like, Germany broke apart first, apparently. Okay, and then the European Union collapsed. I get that. Economic powerhouse. If we're gone, the European Union has what? France? France can probably hold some in the Mediterranean area, but that's it. It's not gonna hold long. But like, you tell me, Germany was just gone as a nation for 2 decades? Literally 2 decades, and then they just regrouped and we're like, guys, we need to get the band together. We're gonna go out to the central ones. I think there are 7 nations. So it's Germany, France, Spain, probably Italy. Okay, now the question is, do you think Britain is in the new European Union? London was flooded. They built a new London in this timeline. Let's count them in. Sweden? That is Sweden, Denmark? I guess. And then people are like, what's with Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, Switzerland, Austria? We absorbed them. Fuck you. It's ours now. Germany split up Switzerland and Austria between us and Italy. We're good friends with the Italians now. We just have a nice line with the mountains. We're like, this is the border, and the Italians were like, grazie. No, I just made this up, okay? It just makes me easier to count. Or, maybe Britain is actually gone. There's just Scotland. The Scottish people just took over everything. That would also be great. But yeah, Honestly, I love this design, and I really, really fucking hope they will base on it, because, like, people were like, oh, but what's about the bright orange? The bright orange is fucking, it's a good touch. Oh, yeah. And did Blasco get smooth? No, Blasco had... Oh, yeah. Honestly, I do also hope that they will... that they, you know, kind of expand this into, like, a South American faction, because this is honestly kind of a cool design. And I want to see more of South American factions in video games. South America is underrepresented. And probably some people are like, ah. Wait a second, who did get the last? Wait, Mackey? The fuck? Oh, there it is. There we go. Yeah, every time I spend any premium currency, even if I build it up, even if I know it's gonna be worthless if I don't spend it on something, I get anxiety. I get crippling anxiety. It is fucking insane.
You get post-anxiety.
What?
You get post-anxiety.
I get post-anxiety because, you know, buying it is not a problem. But afterwards, I'm like, I don't have that money anymore. What if I want to spend on other things? And I, you know, my brain is like, the only thing I could be interested in is if they bring back some event shit from the 1,000 Petals, because, like, oh, would you really just get all the things, the skins that are 2142 references? Yes. But on the other hand, yeah, sure, yeah, that's it. I would just get those. Let's play some rounds. And use the... Ah, yes.
Watching your progress.
It's still kind of wild that the ACWR got the skin. So for everyone who does... for those who don't know, one of the weird things about... So the thing is, they started adding vault weapons with, like, I think season 2 or so. And those were... I have the reverse one where I spent too much money. Do you know what?
Majority of sectors under enemy control.
I get that. I get that. A lot of people have that, but, like...
Probably would.
It's probably also... What?
I probably would have one principle. Because if I would start spending, I would just spend.
Yeah, that's... and on the other hand, you have, you know, you have me who's like... I don't want to. I can't spend money. I will scream in my...
I'll get you up!
Yeah, I get that.
Reloading!
You're spending it on something else. Oh, well, yeah. That's honestly one of the problems I have with, like, so many games, because here's the thing. Even if I really like a game, even if I play it a bunch... No. Like, even if I get, you know, some books for TTRPGs, which can, you know, I can measure that money. And it's usually just, you know, every 3 or 6 months now. It's not that much. I want to give them back immediately. I have crippling anxiety of buying things. And with, you know, with premium currencies, it's just worse. This ironically makes me really, you know, really unsusceptible to you know, I mean, I don't know if it would change if I ever, you know, if I stop having monetary problems.
Russians are
Maybe.
attacking one of our objectives.
But like, yeah, no. For me, it's hell. Like, I can fucking list you the purchases I made for free-to-play games on a hand. So, one was get all characters forever for free for Dirty Bomb. Now, Dirty Bomb is dead. Rip. Then, in a sale for 10 bucks. Okay, it was basically 20 because we both bought it. All characters forever for Paladins. Because we did play Paladins from time to time and that was a good game. And like 10 bucks, that's like... Honestly, that is like the least fucking thing I could give the devs. For, you know, honestly, you know, actually maintaining a game. Fuck ton. It's a good game. It is. I mean, in general, I must say that these, you know, get all characters forever for free bundles. I actually would, I paid 25 bucks for the Dirty Bomb one. That's probably also one of the highest amount I ever spent on one of those bundles because I can actually, you know, realistically gauge what I get from it. It's not a problem for me, you know? So, yeah. This is also probably one of those very small things where, like, I really need to actually do so much, you know, checking for myself before I can actually get shit, and even then, like, for example, I realized I am not playing as much, I'm not playing as much XDefiant as I would need to, so I'm like, yeah, I'm just staying away from the game. You know, any form of that monetization. If I would know, I you know, I for some reason really got into that game, would not just play, you know, sometimes get some, you know, progress, play with friends, that's fun, you know, find that. That was probably everything I would ever do.
Take this!
If I would do more and I'm like, oh hey, I actually get to, like, the end of battle passes and shit, I would be like, maybe get one, because I played, you know, so much.
Need time to reload!
But otherwise, no, I wouldn't get that shit.
In full control of Sector Charlie.
I'm reloading!
It's similar to how, you know, ironically, I played so much Call of Duty Modern Warfare 19 that I actually had enough just free money to get the Battle Pass for Season 4 back then, and then I just did 4, 5, and 6 completely. And then I did all of Cold War. And then the first two of Vanguard, because Vanguard just kinda dropped. Like... yeah. And I had Battlefield, you know. And now every time I log into, you know, MW3 to be like, oh, let's see how the new, how, you know, some of the new content is and stuff, because I just want to take it, just try it out. They're like, you still have our premium currency. Buy the battle pass. Buy the fucking battle pass. You dirty money pig or something. Like, god damn it, Activision, fuck yourself. Reduce your game prices on Steam first. Again, if I can buy all of Black Ops 2, you know, for like 20 bucks, let's say, and I mean all of it, and then we can talk again. Then I can do stuff like, oh, they suck. Like, yes, they have Gundam skins, but like, it sucks. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you here. I know some people are like, oh, this is so cool and all that, but like, you know, know, I kind of made, you know, a comparison like a while ago, because I know people like to call this Fortnite slop, but that's the shit, you know? When I hear, oh, they're just making the shitty Fortnite crossovers, I'm like, I wish Gundam had actually made a crossover with Fortnite instead. Okay, obviously people will be like, why Fortnite? Here's the thing. The skins are literally just the Zaku 2, yeah, the red one, because Char, the RX 78 was it? 78, I think, and Gundam Ariel. Now, it is funny that Gundam Ariel is in the game before it was ever in Gundam Evolution. And also they have a Zuleta skin on the gun. But like, here's the thing. It's just a skin on a normal operator. It's just, you're in Paris or Tokyo, really realistic looking settings, and then there's just a human-sized Ariel walking around. And like, I'm sorry to say that, but that sucks. Like, here's the thing. I don't have too much against skins, as long as they make some sort of sense, you know. Here in 2042, every skin is based on, you know, factions that are in that world. I kind of wish they would have, you know, expanded on some of them. Like, for example, you can't bring in, you know... Okay, I know they didn't have, you know, the death power to make, like, new vehicles for the Thousand Petals, but, like, you can't make the Thousand Petals Coalition, you know, a new faction apparently spearheaded by Japanese, you know, by Japanese generals, and apparently also, you know, companies. And then you introduce Jatagara, like, when the game started, and then nothing came of that? Yeah, but like, you know what the difference is? You know what the difference is? Like, last season they had Warhammer 40k, and the best thing that looks is the Guardsman skin and the Sister of Battle skin. The Space Marine Scout skin just looks kinda ass, but because again, Space Marines are taller than humans. Yeah, kinda making them, you know, like making them a Juggernaut in one mold is like, making them a Juggernaut skin is like, okay, I get it, I guess that is to a degree fitting, but like still, why? It's just throwing it into Call of Duty, you know? It's just, here's the brand, and you know what the sad part is? People were like, why did it happen? And the irony is, this happened because a bunch of people were fired from the Fortnite team. Apparently on creative differences. Now I kinda understand it. Like, probably a bunch of people would be like, what? How? Like, here's the thing. As I said on Twitter, if they had a Gundam collab with, you know, with Fortnite, there would be Ariel on the map. You could find Ariel, the Gundam, on the map and pilot it. In fact, they would probably have, like, so many Gundams. They would probably throw in like 6-7 models. There would probably be Barbatos, there would be Turn A, there would be Ariel. Yeah, probably also a Zaku, sure, for good measure. You have a Zaku in there. There would be a bunch of Gundams just in the game. And you can pilot them. And then in that season it would just be mech battles. And then you could, you know, you could play Char Aznable, or, you know, Zuleta Mirin. Yeah, no, they already had mechs. They would just probably, it would probably expand them. It would probably even take note from a bunch of the Gundam games and be like, okay, yeah, let's introduce mechanics from there. Because that's the thing. You know? That is the irony about Fortnite. When they get an IP, they don't just throw in a skin. yeah, I mean, sure, it is funny that, you know, the characters from My Hero Academia or Naruto is in there. Like, we all could meme about the fact, like, look, Sasuke, look, Sasuke, Gan no Jutsu. Yeah, that's funny, but like, it was not only that, right? They also had abilities from that thing in there that literally were part of the gameplay. And yeah, if they ever made a Gundam season, Gundam would be in that season, and it wouldn't just be, you know, 3 skins they just nonchalantly dropped onto you. They would be like, here are Gundams, here are, you know, like, unique movesets to control Gundams.
We must fight harder.
And it's just gonna be a thing. Like, they had Spider-Man, they had webs, and just built web slinging into their game. Like, yeah, to a degree, being the literal engine developer of you know, the Unreal Engine and making shit ton of money from Fortnite allows you that freedom. But on the other hand, this is why they make so much fucking money, because they're not just looking at the Battle Royale game as, you know, a bunch of people shooting at each other. They're like, hey, we have a collaboration, how much unique and weird gameplay ideas can we throw into it? Is it gonna be balanced? We don't fucking care. Is it fun? And like, if anyone wants to talk about why Fortnite just keeps being this insanely oppressive game, it is because of that. It's because of a game that, you know, that actually takes risks, that just makes gameplay decisions beyond people shoot. People shoot is the baseline, and then they just add all the weird shit from Collapse on top. And this is why, when I look at Call of Duty, I'm not fucking feeling it anymore. That game is just dead for me to a degree. That to a degree where I'm like, I don't know. Why bother? My biggest problem with Fortnite is, again, I don't like Battle Royale games. I just don't get into them. But still. There's a reason I've kept playing Battlefield over the last years. There's a reason why I'm recently, you know, I'm playing X-Defiant, because it's just... well, it's simply just fun. It's just a shooter. Yeah, sure, they have some goofy shit in there, some fun crossovers, and, you know, it's like, yeah, it's basically the Smash Brothers of Ubisoft, but, like, it is not just trying to be like this big, you know, next Battle Royale game. It's not chasing the big brand crossovers beyond their own capabilities, you know. Like, it seems to actually be trying to be that, though. No, it's using the stuff from Ubisoft. It's going for Ubisoft Fun Shooter. Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun shooter. It's just like, here's the stuff from Ubisoft. And then there's just a fun casual shooter beneath that. Yeah, it's planned from the beginning to be like, you will see Ubisoft stuff in here, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. So it works. So when the rabbits come next year, you're like, sure, it's the rabbits. We had to probably get here at some point. But the big difference is, you know, at least it's also trying to do shit with that. Like, when I see, like, again, if I go over those things, it's like, oh yeah, the highwaymen are safe. The GSG-9 is just, you know, GC9 Club was this thing straight taken from Siege, which is in its own way fun because, well, you take elements from a game with a completely different gameplay flow and put them in another game with a completely different gameplay flow. That is already interesting. Then you have stuff like, hey, how will the assassins work? You're probably gonna be like, what? Assassins? They're like, yeah, you know what? You can, cloak yourself as an enemy team member, you can do smoke bombs, you can backstab people, and you're like, wait, that's fun. It's not just, again, that's the thing. It's not just gonna be an assassin skin, it's gonna be you play an assassin to a degree. Oh hey, look, it's the crew. Wait, what do car drivers do here? What are they gonna do? I'm like, oh, or they're driving cars. Actually, that makes sense if you think about it. Again, it's the same principle on why I say Fortnite works. It's not just, here's a skin. Gundam is, here's a skin. And I guess, if you want to give Activision / Microsoft a fuck ton of money to look like Ariel, go for it. But it's not gonna be more. And if you have some crossover shit, I think you should do something with that. Everything else is just... Hell, even when they started doing, more wild crossovers with, in Monster Hunter World, they started making more into those crossovers. Like, oh, was the Assassin crossover that sent? Like, here's a new cloak. Okay. Something. Like, the Witcher crossover was a whole storyline in Monster, which is... You know what? Cool, I take it. Do that. Have fun. It's just do shit with it. Else I'm just... That's the thing. Else you are just kinda creatively bankrupt, in my opinion. And Call of Duty is very creatively bankrupt right now. And I'm not even surprised that the people who are doing a lot of these plannings now were fired from Fortnite. Because if they try to do the same shit, just slam shit in without doing more work, Fortnite would have also been unbearable by now. Yeah, it's like, I'm still gonna be interested how they do it. Like, even if it's just gonna be, people doing, rabbits. Rabbits cosplay in some tech gear. Kinda like... remember Gotham City Imposters? That one game? They could do that. Something like that. It would be fun. It would be kind of funny. Like, why would people do that? And they could be like... I don't know. I did like one of the one is starting with. It was also just not that good as the old ones. Like the best campaign they had in recent years was Cold War, and it's not even close. It's not even fucking close. Like the MW reboot series is just going for realism and grit. And there's not much interesting shit going on. Like, it's just, oh yeah, it's competent, and they have like, oh look how stealthily we go through a building murdering basically civilians. I mean, that's just... Battle for the Burger Town slapped, sorry, okay? It is actually a fucking shame that they slap Burger Town into nearly every single multiplayer map nowadays, but they don't have a Battle for the Burger Town. Like, that is where the meme came from. This is why they kept referencing... This is the thing that just fucks me up so much, okay? They had a Burger Town, okay? They had the Battle for the Burger Town. You're like, oh, okay, Burger Town. It's basically their McDonald's. And it got kind of iconic, and then they made, they still put it in other multiplayer maps, and It's just, you know, you just had some... you had this internal reference, because I think they remade Terminal in MW3 and basically made, you know, a Russian Burger Town. That was also cool. It's... Burger Town, like, that's the thing. Burger Town was there for a reason. Okay, I actually kind of find it funny that the X-Defiant devs, you know, in spirit of them being ex-Infinity Ward people, now have slapped Admiral Burger on a bunch of the Division maps, which is like, I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing there. But yeah. The new game, especially multiplayer, is just here's the new brand. Give us money for the brand, and it's just so soulless. Again, why should I care? In X-Defiant, I played people from DedSec to the point that I'm like, yeah, you know what, I would even be that angry having some DedSec skins. DedSec has a reason, it's not just the skin, you know? And like, you pick DedSec, you play DedSec. And yeah, you could say, oh, but Mandate of Nations is just baiting you with 2142. Yes, sure, and so what? I like 2142. I absolutely love the orange. Also, I'm a fucking sucker for European factions.
We have captured Alpha Sector.
Like, I had a conversation a while ago with someone, and they were like, would a European faction actually be interesting? You know, what does Europe have in terms of what does Europe have in terms of oh, come on. Brain. You know, military gear, etc. And the answer, and then I was like, oh, well, here's like, for example, the stuff, let's just start with weapons. We could talk about stuff like, also, yeah, LMD that you can also magazine feed. It's kind of cool. Like, oh, okay, you want Europeans? You want European weapons? We have so many fucking weapons. You could point at, like, Heckler and Koch alone would probably, just fill a whole fucking arsenal. Sure. They would be like, oh, but it's just German guns. Okay, you know, we have the old ones, you know, we have the G3, we have the MP5 classics, we have the MP7, we have the G36, we have the M416, that's ours. M416 is from Germany. God, what else? Let's just get over that one. Again, we have there's the MG3. You could have the XM8 line. Yeah, they just, you know, announced they you know, are now doing weapons like the HK-138W, and you're like, what's that? It's basically like, hey, we're making a weapon for you know, the caliber that AKs use.
No longer hold Alpha 1.
Why? Well,
We have lost Delta Sector to hostiles.
Ukraine has a problem.
The enemy is conquering
Their guns are
sectors of the
old,
hostbase. We
but
now
most
hold
ammunition they
forts.
capture and have is, you know, old Kalashnikov stuff. That's what they also can produce. So it's like, hey, how about we start producing weapons that, you know, have all the upsides of, you know, modern Western weapons, but can all use that caliber? Like, oh yeah, that's actually cool. Again, then we get to the French. We have the FAL, we have the FAMAS. Belgians is the P90. Just, again,
Attacking Echo 1.
standard hand weapons, Europe has it all. Tanks, do we need to talk about tanks? We have everything from, you know, big tanks to tankettes.
Enemy bomb! Catch this, shithead!
The French have, you know, good planes. Like, you could 100% make a European army, you know, based on all the military vehicles and shit that we have. And when I, you know, listed them, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, actually that sounds cool. That's a lot of cool shit we haven't seen yet. Obviously, because the best people know is the Leopard 2. I mean, yeah, of course, we will probably not get the British tanks, because apparently those suck. And not everyone wants a teapot in their tank, but still. Oh well. Bah. But yeah, from the MW2, MW3, just so you know, Claire, the MW3 campaign sucks for one major reason: it was rushed. Like, keep in mind, MW3 was supposed to be a multiplayer expansion for MW2. Mainly. Technically, you know, all the weapons, like, it's basically a standalone thing. Oh, yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, the new one is just... The new one is basically... They were like, oh hey, we're making this expansion with new guns. And then Activision was like, so the multiplayer of 2 isn't really catching on, which is not surprising. The multiplayer sucked ass of 2. Like, it's just, like, the maps were bad. Everything was just kind of bad. And... yeah. It was just kind of that. And then they were like, how about we just actually bump everything up to a full release? Sledgehammer, make a campaign. And Sledgehammer was like, we can't make a campaign.
Let's begin, please.
And then, well, then Activision was like, make a campaign. So they made a campaign. And just reused a lot of shit. Like, it's so funny. It's so funny when they announced this shit. And we're like, look, we now have more open combat missions where you can approach the small as a sandbox. I was like, they're slacking. They don't have time to finish it. And people are like, what are you talking about? They definitely want to have more open gameplay, and then the mission sucked. Because they just reused shit from the Warzone map. because they didn't have time. Open gameplay my ass. This is like... Here's the thing. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but if you have a big map, you know, a bigger map, and just slap some objectives, quote-unquote, on it, and put some enemies on there, this is actually easier to do than fine-tune, you know, a linear combat encounter level. You know, where you have to script a lot and shit. So I was like, yeah, they're doing this to pad gameplay and sell it to you as innovation. Guess what? They padded gameplay and sold it back as innovation. And people fell for it again. I still remember when that trend started being, you know, Far Cry Light. Some did it better than others. But still. Hey! Caspian border! Woo! A classic.
Our attack on Bravo 1 is underway. Sector Echo in enemy hands. Sector Charlie's under enemy control.
Our enemy is holding more tactics than us.
They're in front of us!
Charlie 1 is now our target.
Aha!
Right! We're not taking here!
Hey, come back, come back! Yes, let me heal you.
We've engaged the enemy.
Bring me a victory. Sector Echo, we're here. We have taken more sectors than they have. Make sure we don't lose.
It's always the
our
same. It's always the same.
Secured nearly every
You're like,
sector.
oh, okay, let me just repair everything. And the drivers are like, I want to drive away. I am scared. I'm big tank and I'm scared. Just don't. What did they shoot you? Probably from a different angle. This? This look is kind of cool. The only thing I'm slightly pissed is about the fact that... No, you don't. No, you don't. The thing I'm slightly pissed about, though, is the fact that, you know, they're introducing a European faction. Literally, the rebirth of the European Union. I mean, you know, kind of need to reference, you know, the League of Nations.
You or me?
but still. And
Secured by friendlies.
so the German specialist got no mandate skin. What? But they got, but she got one for the Asian faction. Okay. The fuck, Falk? And all mandate weapon skins are not for European weapons. Like, listen, I like the ACWR. It fits. It's a good looking skin, but
The cracks are showing.
the fuck? You can't, like, you can't say
The enemy is trying
the
to
European Union reformed under the leadership of Germany and not give the G36 a skin? Or Falk? The fuck? What decision was that?
Pushing the Russians out, but they'll counterattack.
Also apparently sound bug. This is, I think, the ending music. Thank God it's finally over.
Charlie sector has fallen. If we don't stop them, they'll take every sector.
You know what? It's kind of funny how apparently someone is... Girl? Laserwurst. Yeah, you're definitely a girl. Laserwurst. Just spot people online by their names. Nope, not.
Just captured sector Charlie. Battle outcome looks promising. We control the majority of sectors. Our enemy now holds sector Delta.
I mean... Do people still pretend to be girlfriends online, in online games?
Sector Charlie's fallen to the hostiles.
You're not done yet! Enemy vehicle is down! I'm reloading!
Charlie 1 hard.
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't seen that actually in a long time. Like, do people still do that? You know, pretend being someone's girlfriend online.
At 50% strength.
Or is that actually something that is dying out? I still know back in the day, oh, that was a lot. You know, you played an MMO, someone was like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. And everyone knew like, no. You just have good,
Charlie 1.
you know, you just help that person get good loot so they pretend you're your girlfriend. I think some people did it in League, but I don't know. Oh, god damn it. Stealth plane killed me.
Objective marked.
Careful out there. Call Detective Charlie.
Keep the enemy from this objective.
We'll monitor from here. They're attacking Delta 1.
Yeah.
Use this!
Honestly, constantly having the end of round music going is just so annoying.
Friendly forces are securing Delta 1.
Weird as fuck.
Take your medkit!
Just see Sector Bravo.
Med supplies! Use them! Use this!
Mine's lose an urgent pickup that was fake, but when we bought a used one and didn't notice at the time. Oh! I mean, hope it's still working.
Make sure you defend them.
Control of Charlie 1 was just lost.
I mean,
Keep us updated.
I don't know why you went to Amazon for that. Like,
The occupied sector.
you can get those here at basically every. Nearly every normal store has them, and they're like I think I got like 64 gigabyte USB stick for like $6. It's just nothing. It's just nothing. It's kind of wild to think about that 64 gigabytes USB sticks are just so inexpensive now, you know?
I'm here, don't move.
I still remember.
Sector Delta has been secured.
Like 10 years ago? Yeah, you know what? They started becoming inexpensive,
Make sure you
but
defend our positions.
they weren't inexpensive. Now it's just like you can get one. I don't know how to call it. It's basically a drugstore. Drugstores here, they just sell them. Just like, yeah, you want one? Here, go. Just go around the corner. They're just there. Enjoy. Have them. We don't care. And you're like, oh, okay. Everything alright?
Take what you need!
We are attacking Echo 1.
Wonderful. Now we have two. I mean, at that point, I'm not okay. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Our forces have taken more
Let's
chances
check
than the
me.
enemy. This is how we defeat them.
So the thing is, okay, because this shit is so inexpensive now.
Around 50 meters from your position. Make the best for you! Cargo spotted! Get it!
I mean, it shouldn't be a big problem, but yeah. God damn it! Fucking Claymore. So here's the thing.
Down to our last resource. Make them count.
I kind of hope that if, you know, whatever the next Nintendo console is, it's gonna be a handheld again, you know? They should have at least 3 micro SD slots. Like, I'm sorry. This shit is so inexpensive right now. And they're saying like, yeah, you get one. No, fuck you, Nintendo.
Good luck, squad
Give
leader.
me 3 slots. And then I can just slot in like 3 320 gigabyte cards. People are gonna be like, why are you crazy? And like, I don't care. I don't fucking care. Just give me.
We have full control of Sector Alpha. We have taken more sectors than they have. Make sure we don't lose our advantage.
Damn it. I mean, they already fucked up with the, like, even need to go for better storage now? Probably won't. It's probably not, I mean, it's likely not even necessary. The chips are fine. You know? And like, here's the thing. The next games are gonna be quality of a PlayStation 4 at best. At best, there's... Okay, I'm gonna make a prediction. If the next Nintendo's thing is either gonna be an attachment or, you know, a dual screen Switch, it's probably gonna be at best similar in power to a PS4. But for Nintendo games, nothing will change. Now, people will probably be like, what? Like, here's the thing. The most technically complex Nintendo game right now is Tears of the Kingdom. The next one might change the map a bit more. But, like, they're gonna make just Breath of the Wild 3. It's gonna be probably the same map again, just with more technical stuff, and just runs better. Like, a sequel to Mario Odyssey will not look much more different than the Mario Odyssey is doing now. Nintendo is not gonna push, you know, technical boundaries on there. They don't need to. They had one quote-unquote graphics update, and they did that on the Wii U. The Switch is just the Wii U portable. Micro SDs are fine. Like, they're not competing with anyone on that market. I know people are gonna say, but the Steam Deck! Is the Steam Deck actually competition to the Switch? Sure, if you want to play, you know, PC games on the go, you might want to have a good SSD. If you want to have, you know, high, high quality tech stuff, but like, a handheld? They'll be fine. That's like, it's similar to, you know, when the PlayStation 4 came out, everyone was like, they need to have an SSD, and the whole generation still ran on normal hard drives. Sure, you could at least you could at least upgrade the one on the PS4, and they could get reasonably fast.
One of our special operations units was escorting a trade caravan in Panama when they were ambushed by American forces. The situation has escalated across the entire canal. Interference from the US has gone on long enough. We are sending a message, no bats, no quarter. Use all available resources to drive hostiles from the region. Our warships will escort you to the border. Fight well.
Oh well. Where was I actually with my... My thoughts just kinda stopped. Anyway. But we will see how that's, how the news, you know, thing will look like. Again, if it's really Switch attached,
American forces will take every sector
it's gonna be one of the best that they ever made. Probably not gonna sell that well, but who cares?
Disregard last.
Like, honestly, I can actually see Nintendo just make an attachment for the Switch that you plug in, and then it has the Switch gains more power through that. I can totally see them do that. Just make it a dual screen Switch with an attachment. Will probably not sell. It's gonna be some of the coolest shit, and it's gonna confuse the hell out of everyone. Okay, it's gonna be really funny if it's actually ironically, you know, now that you say that, the Wii U and the Switch are like have like the least revisions of all of them. Yeah, they could. We'll see, you know. It would just be so fucking funny if they did that. And I can see the logic behind it. They're probably gonna look at the install base of the Switch, and they will look back, you know? They will look back and be like, every time they sold us a console that was slightly similar to the one they had before, it didn't sell. Like, keep in mind, the 3DS had no competition on the market and sold less than the PSP.
All yours. Supplies incoming.
So I can see how someone at the high-ups was like, what if we just make something that you attach to the old system, and, you know, we have a gigantic install base. Everyone likes, you know, an upgrade to what they already own. I get it. It would just be so fucking funny. Because I know it would piss everyone off. Even if it's well made, even if it works, even if it's like actually a good, you know, well done idea, it would piss everyone off.
We have lost Echo Sector to hostiles.
And I'm here for that, actually. Like, just... Because, like, that's the thing about online Nintendo discourse, okay? That's the thing about online Nintendo discourse. People want to believe in a Nintendo that doesn't exist. You know, aside from the obvious shit like, you know, Nintendo is just a nice... It's just a nice concept. Like, hey, Nintendo is probably the one company that is the most hostile to its own community. And I know people try to, you know, prop up everyone else like as, oh, they're so evil and bad. Like, come the fuck on. Neither Sony nor Microsoft have done mass purges of ROM sites. Yeah. So yeah, it's probably just gonna be them doing a dual screen shit again. Which is gonna be so fucking funny, honestly. Like, yeah, give me dual screen Switch. Just give everyone an aneurysm. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a new one, but yeah, they will have some gimmick on it, and if it's just a dual screen again. I can actually see a detachable dual screen. Like, that is probably the one thing they will do, if you ask me. Detachable dual screen.
We have taken command of Echo Sector.
But yeah, again, in people's minds, they want to have a Nintendo that doesn't exist. They want a Nintendo that's just great, that just likes all the games, you know, isn't constantly purging every single fan game that exists on planet Earth.
We have lost
They've captured all of Charlie.
They want to have, and then, you know, obviously they're like, oh, you know what? The next Nintendo console is gonna destroy the PlayStation. It's like, on what fucking planet? No home console. Yes, even the fucking Wii ever quote-unquote destroyed is the PlayStation. Sony almost destroyed the PlayStation with the PlayStation 3, and even they recovered. It's just... sorry.
Bravo Sector is held by our troops.
We have a breach at one of our objectives.
And then you hear like, there's gonna... Remember how we heard about the Switch Pro ad nauseum? How it's gonna come? How a Switch Pro is totally gonna be a thing? Or how the PlayStation 5 Pro is totally gonna be a thing? And so far, no announcement, no nothing. It's like... So the PS5 is still selling, you know, well. The Switch kept selling because, as I kept saying, no one needs a better Switch. Like, no. Let me put it like this: For anyone is like, but I wanted it. Yeah, some people, especially terminally online people, wanted a stronger Switch. But the majority didn't. The majority had a Switch, and they played Switch games. And as long as the Switch games ran fine, they were, the Switch sold. And it made more sense, because at that point, at least the hardware, on the hardware side, they had one revision, because the OLED screens became, way less expensive, so it made sense. And now, you have the Switch, and it's the same hardware on all three, revisions.
200 meters.
So every dev knows what to develop for,
Hostile infantry.
and you have a pretty good lineup.
Hostiles have taken Delta Sector.
Like, seriously, what did you expect? People would be like, oh hey, there's a Switch Pro, and yeah, and Nintendo would 100% make exclusive games again for it. Remember when they ported Xenoblade Chronicles to the new 3DS? Yeah, impressive that that worked. For what?
Attack on Charlie 2.
I know it confused the shit out of a lot of people. It's the same when, they really, back then they were like, look, these games only work on the DSi. Okay, cool, so you're not gonna see that this might complicate things for,
Steady. Resources at 50%.
This is probably the main reason why they didn't do that. Iwata was dead, and they just standardized a bunch more shit. Like, I get the part where they want to, have a new idea to make a new console and shit. But let's also just be real here. They went fucking overboard with their revisions. And it hurts them more than it, helped.
Enemy trying to seize Charlie 2. The enemy holds the majority of sectors.
Like, here's the thing. New 3DS having like a small extra stick. You could have, maybe planned it better to have 2 circle pads. Would have been cool. Then again, Sony for some reason also never... Like, here's the thing, you know what? If Sony ever wants to destroy Nintendo in the console market, they should just re-release the PSP and add, 2 back triggers and another circle pad. Boom. Best handle of all time. I would. You will never hear from me again.
We have complete control of Delta Sector.
It is so weird, because, like... It's like, oh hey, we have a 3DS, and they're like, okay. And then it's like, here's the 3DS, but bigger. I'm like, okay, good. And now there's a new 3DS that has eye tracking. Like, oh, you know what? Why wasn't that in there in the first place? And they're like, oh, but you also made it a bit more powerful. Oh, okay, so games run a bit better. Yeah. And we're now gonna release like 1 or 2 games with like a black marking on them that are exclusive for this one system. Why? And like, oh hey, how about we have the DSi? And what does it do? So we added a camera. Okay, so why the fuck did you add a camera? Because I wanted to, I wanted to make. We just wanted to do shit with cameras. Okay, but why? Why do you make a revision of basically the same console that is basically the same console? Take away Game Boy Advance features and have a camera. I mean, I get it, I have a base 3DS and, yeah, the Game Boy Advance was like, oh hey, you have the screen in the middle and everything else to the sides. Ironically, this is kind of ironic if you think about it. The Game Boy Advance lineup as a setup became the actual standard later. Like, think about it. The SP was like, you have, was basically a Game Boy Color, an old Game Boy that you flip up. Cool. perfect Game Boy. Then you had basically everything, DS, PSP, Switch, all of those are the layout of the Game Boy Advance. So, ironically, the Game Boy Advance was kind of ahead of its time,
Enemy is assaulting Delta
but still, getting ahead of myself. Yeah, Game Boy Color was actually kind of cool. Like, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have played on a normal 3DS. Let me be clear here. Back then, it was for me. I was at the store. I wanted to play, you know, Pokemon X and Y. I bought a Pikachu 3DS XL, and I was happy. Back when, and then we wanted to play Sun Moon, and we got a new 3DS for Agonia, and I think she was happy with it. A new 3DS XL, not a small one, obviously, because that's the weird part, you know. The moment you were able to have bigger screens, it was just so stupid to have small ones, you know. Like, why was there a small new 3DS anyway? Did anyone buy this thing? Or did anyone besides masochists and collectors buy this thing? Because like, oh yeah, you pay a bit more. Yeah, but you pay a bit more and you have a bigger screen. A vastly bigger screen. You see shit on that screen. It's actually also nicer to hold because it's bigger. It fits into my bulky European hands.
Now control Echo Sector.
I don't care. I see shit. And it's nicer in my hands. Oh well. I get it. Yeah, sharper image and shit. But again, it's so weird. If you have a stronger console, you could make shit that like, oh hey, let's just...
No use staying now.
You could make it so that, oh hey, how about everything is just a bit better to see, you know, a bit more smoothing of shit? No, why?
Sunkata.
Oh god, not... It's Caspian again. But yeah, it's still so weird to have anxiousness about getting things, you know? Like, buying food is no problem. I actually go to the food store sometimes and be like, you know what? We should treat ourselves. And then I just buy, you know, slightly more expensive shit and make, like, a good bologna and stuff. But again, buying shit like books, manga, Gunpla. My brain is just like, no, you can use that money for different things. I'm like, the fuck? I'm not spending all our savings on shit.
Our plan is
My brain is just
we now
weird.
control more sectors than the enemy.
Hell.
Engage the enemy.
Strong start. Advance just the same.
I mean, like, actual funny thing that happened today. Like, so a friend basically texted me and was like, hey, like, I want to send you a small gift, you know, had birthday and shit. And I literally just got anxiety because it was like, no, she could spend money on that. She could use that money for. I was like, holy shit, please don't do anything stupid. Please don't do anything stupid. Until she then, like, literally sent me that one, Cowboy Bebop meme with, like, do I look like I have fucking money? And, like, you know what? Fair point, actually. I'm still getting anxious over this shit. I'd probably be horrible for a lot of people to live with. Like, imagine you have money, you want to use it to buy shit, and then, you know, I'd just be like, nah, do you actually want to spend money? You could spend money doing that. And probably everyone would look at me being like, that's the point. And my own anxiety brain will say, yeah, but you could spend money on that. That's like, that's bad. You could spend money.
Sector is under our control. Good work.
Yeah, it's probably not a thing. It's probably not gonna be anything where I'm like should die
We have
over. It's
lost Bravo
just
sector to hostiles.
They control more sectors than we do. We must counterattack. Charlie 1 assault initiated by all troops.
Hostiles are losing resources.
Med supplies, here! Focus! Out!
Satan.
I need topics. Anything fun to talk about?
One on the ground!
Like, I saw like one post today on Twitter that was like, you know, a happy dolphin and flowers and rainbows, and the caption was how it feels to beat Rishi Sunak to death, and I'm like, got it that bad? Did it get that bad in Britain? Is the guy this unhinged already? Wait, okay, did he get more unhinged? I just know everyone hates him. But other than Liz Truss, he refuses to leave.
We are dominating the battlefield.
Apparently, I don't know. Rishi Sunak, your Prime Minister. I feel like with Liz Truss, the Tories were at least, oh fuck, we need to get rid of her. This is bad. With him, it's more like, they're like, it's Joe Ever. Just like, we have given up. Even trying to throw the people out that we hate. Like, this is so funny to me. Like, for what I wonder how that it got that way. Like, I've seen a bunch of shit from, there's no one left. There should be someone left, like... Okay, I know this is probably very, very, very optimistic, but like, there should be someone left. Like, the fuck?
We now control all of Delta Sector. We are in control of nearly all
Oh.
sectors.
God. That is definitely a shit show. Like, will your island ever recover? Ever? At some point? I'm like, is this even possible? Will there be a Britain afterwards ever?
Expended half of their resources.
Got something for you! Pesticide! Use them!
I think the wildest thing for me is still to be like...
Delta sector is lost to hostiles.
I think the wildest part to me is the simple fact that Labour could have probably done anything they wanted. Sounds great.
They control more sectors than us. This is the factory.
I mean, currently here it's also a shit show. I think there's Europe. There are the European elections this Sunday and some. Like the most fucking insulting thing I've seen currently is there's basically local elections and European elections on this Sunday, and it's also just like, the fuck. Like, the most insulting thing is that the CDU is like, the conservatives are like, oh yeah, we're gonna fix traffic, and their program is keeping lanes and building more lanes. It's like, fuck you. Your fucking party building deserves to be burned down for like obvious shit like that. They're just like, yeah, we're gonna fix traffic. Literally building fucking... Like, here's the thing. The biggest shit they did is that they are building a new subway. And that is still needed. Like, connecting a bunch of vital things. They should have also built a tram because, you know, both are needed. But still, hearing the conservatives just be like, oh yeah, we're gonna fix the traffic, even though traffic got already better over the years. It got better because of, you know, bike lanes and shit. It's just so fucking insulting. This kind of lying, you know, should just get your party banned in this day and age. Just literally for, I don't know, 8 years? You have to just skip 2 elections. Fuck you. Oh. Austerity is... Oh god, it's so... Oh yeah. We're just not spending money on shit because we need to save money. This is not how anything works. Like, you know, here's the thing about austerity, you know?
How long is it next?
It's probably the epitome of shitty neoliberal politics. And like, there are a bunch of really shitty politics.
We now control Echo Sector.
You know, high-speed rail can take a while. I concede that. I can say it, and but like, the one line we built, I mean, we put a bunch of them in the recent years, and they're finished. But still, austerity is just the epitome of bullshit neoliberalism. Because here's the thing. Either you actually believe in austerity, then you're just stupid. You're stupid and should not be holding any public office. Or... Oh yeah, I know. It's always that. It's always just that. Because the thing about austerity is, and we have similar stuff here, is the idea that, you know, if you don't spend money on public projects, the private sector would take over. Because the private sector would not invest into stuff like the railway if the railway got constantly money from the, you know. But you see them doing that? Because the thing is this. They won't. No one wants to pay for roads. Because roads and railways are not something that you really can make money off, you know, unless you're a big cargo company. And you can't really run a railway system that benefits people if you're, you know, just doing cargo rail. So basically no one touches it. And even then, if something needs to be done, what do the companies do? They go back and ask the government for help. There's always money to give to firms to run by politicians also. Yeah. Because that's the thing. It's the stupid idea of, oh hey, the moment we don't, you know, we don't do shit, the market will just solve it. And it never did, and it never will. Because that's not how this shit works. Like, it's gotten so bad that big companies here are saying, tax us fucking more and put it into the infrastructure, you idiots. Like, again, it's gotten so bad that companies, the thing this policy should benefit from, are saying, please just fucking tax us and build infrastructure. Because the irony is, most of them are not stupid. Most of them know paying some amount of taxes is good. Because then you have, you know, roads and trains and your workers don't die of a cold. Your workers can go to a hospital. Your workers can get to your work without spending all their money.
This battle is won.
Neoliberalism has reached the fucking point where the companies hate it. And they want some form of socialism back. Sure, neoliberal politicians will keep grifting for, you know, the few people they like, and those who don't care and just want to keep the grift going. But it's just insane at this point. Like, it's how like the German auto industry wanted to have clear laws about the exit from, you know, from the combustion engine. They wanted a law that is like, this is the end.
Beacon's hot. I'm ready.
Why? Simple. Because then people will start buying electric cars, and also they can actually be like, okay, we can shift our production. Because right now, okay, that's the thing. Either you shift your production to electric cars, or you keep doing combustion engine. Because if there's a shift to electric cars, you know, by a fixed point, stuff like charging stations will be built, the infrastructure will be built, stuff will gradually change. So they wanted that. There was an actual interest overlap between fucking car lobbyists and doing something good. So it didn't happen because the oil companies were like, what do we? It's like, again, they're just eating each other. Obsolete shit gets to dictate shit because neoliberals don't know when to say sorry, you're dead. And they don't want to even listen to the ones being alive, even if they usually listen to them on everything else. It's just bullshit. You know? It's just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. And then now the conservatives, who are apparently so hunkered down on just giving into the bullshit, even though their own clientele doesn't like it. They're just doing dumb culture wars. For what? To do more bullshit? But I mean, that's the thing. Just to ride a gravy train for a few more years. This is the thing, okay? This is the thing that fucks me up the most. There are gigantic industries that exist right now that want to change, okay? Who are like, they're seeing the writing on the wall. The fucking companies are seeing the fact that if we don't stop now, shit will burn literally up. Most of them do. But because a few, just a tiny few, scream, everything gets bent to them. How? How is that possible? Again, we had the fucking car lobby being like, yes, make electric cars mandatory. We want to know when we have to switch. It's good. We want that. Give us a reason. And now it's not coming because some people want to just squeeze more out of oil, I guess. Then you have other shit like... I don't know. Where should I even start? Where should I even start? Well, how will politicians get jobs for oil companies afterwards? It's just... They could get them for car companies. At this point, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Fuck car companies. We need more trains. But like... The car companies are better than the oil companies right now. It's like, they also have money. It's just like... I don't know. And again, if you look at you know, actual social statistics and shit, on most, like nearly every major topic, at least in our country, over 80% people agree on them. They may be, you know, different on the details, but they agree. And this is why you get shit like culture wars, because once you realize nearly every single one agrees on, you know, topics like climate change, social justice, and then realize even the big ones do that to a degree. You just start to realize why there's so much culture war bullshit. Because conservatives literally have nothing else to go. They lost their clientele because they didn't care to, you know, even shift at the one moment where the car companies were like, yeah, you know what, maybe we should just go electric. That might be the future. They didn't shift. So they're just doing bullshit for, you know, the few rich people that don't want shit to change. And they're making shit up. Just making literal shit up so there are things to fight over. Things that don't exist. This is getting depressing. I shouldn't have stayed awake for so long. Again, by the way, it is... Look at him holding the gun. Use the fucking front grip, you idiot. Oh yeah. Anything else new in the codex? Probably not. Yeah, nothing really new. Oh, wait. She's new. Oh. So yeah. Last part of the event, grabbed some event skins for the first time. As you can see again, there is fancy one. Again, why did the G36 get one? This is so weird. Or, you know, I think this is a Hungarian one? No, Croatian one. Like, European guns. Didn't get it. The Swedish one? No. But did it get ACWR? Like, okay, cool. Leaving him for 16. This makes so much sense. Well, yeah, see you all tomorrow for Selaco. Have to do some more boom shooting. It's gonna be a good time. See you then. Bye.